For more than a century, modern society has depended on two key materials that have made our lives easier: plastic and leather. Plastic transformed manufacturing because it was cheap, lightweight, and incredibly versatile. Leather became a symbol of durability and luxury, and it has been used in everything from shoes and furniture to car interiors and fashion accessories. But now we know that both materials come with huge environmental costs. Plastic pollution has become a global problem, and traditional leather production is also destroying the planet. Now researchers are looking for alternative materials, and one of the most promising candidates is hiding beneath our feet. At the center of this innovation is mycelium, which is something like the root of fungi that grows underground. Unlike the mushroom we see above the ground, which is just the visible fruiting body, mycelium is the main living network beneath the surface. Mycelium grows as tiny thread-like fibers called hyphae, which are actually living polymers that can grow and spread out in the soil to search for nutrients. When they are combined with agricultural waste like corn stalks or hemp buds, mycelium acts as a natural binder, and within days, it forms a lightweight solid composite material. The company behind much of this innovation, Ecovative Design, has been refining its mycelium technology since the early 2000s. These materials are naturally fire-resistant and require the minimum energy to produce. Mycelium is also being turned into leather-like sheets that can be used for bags, shoes, and other fashion products. But how are companies growing these materials, and can they actually become a sustainable alternative for the future? Most manufacturing starts by extracting raw materials. For plastic, it begins with fossil fuels. Leather begins with animal hides, and mycelium starts with waste. Agricultural byproducts such as corn husks and hemp fibers are placed into specially designed molds. The mycelium is then introduced and begins spreading throughout the material. Under carefully controlled temperature and humidity conditions, the fungal fibers act like a natural glue, and it binds everything together. The growing process typically takes between 5 and 7 days, and then the material transforms into a lightweight solid structure. Once it reaches the desired shape, the growth process is stopped through drying and heat treatment. The result is a durable material that can be customized for different applications. One area where mycelium is already making progress is packaging. Protective packaging inserts are commonly made from expanded polystyrene, often known as styrofoam. While it is effective, styrofoam is difficult to recycle and frequently ends up in landfills. Mycelium packaging, however, offers a different approach. When manufacturers grow fungal fibers, within a matter of days, the material takes the exact shape that is needed to protect the products during shipping. The finished packaging is lightweight, shock-resistant, and fully home compostable. For consumers, the packaging may look ordinary, but unlike plastic foam, it was actually grown with minimal requirements rather than being manufactured. This has led some experts to describe mycelium packaging as one of the most realistic alternatives to certain types of single-use plastics. In 2011, Dell started shipping some of its products in mycelium packaging. IKEA, which is one of the world's largest users of polystyrene foam, announced it was exploring mushroom packaging as a full replacement across its supply chain. Global leather goods represent a market worth over $500 billion annually, and it is also one of the most brand-sensitive, quality-obsessed markets in the world. MycoWorks is one of the leading companies turning mycelium into a high-end leather alternative. Founded in 2013 in California, the company developed a proprietary technology known as fine mycelium, which allows it to grow dense sheets of fungal materials. The process begins with a mixture of recycled sawdust and other natural ingredients. Together, these materials create a nutrient-rich substrate that serves as food for the mycelium. Fungal spawn is then added to the substrate, which triggers the growth process. Over the following weeks, the mycelium spreads throughout the tray. After performing a series of adjustments, small amounts of water are also used to guide the growth of the fungal fibers. Natural textiles like cotton or silk can also be added to customize the material. As the mycelium consumes the nutrients in the substrate, it forms a dense layer across the surface of the tray. Once the growth cycle is complete, the fully formed sheet is separated from the substrate and prepared for finishing. It is then sent to a tannery, where it undergoes additional treatments similar to those used in conventional leather production. The result is a mushroom-based leather alternative that can be turned into luxury fashion products ranging from handbags and wallets to footwear and accessories. Despite the excitement surrounding mushroom materials, there is one major obstacle standing in the way of widespread adoption, and it is actually scale. Growing a sheet of mushroom leather in a laboratory is one thing, but producing millions of square meters of it every year is something entirely different. For decades, industries such as plastics and leather have benefited from massive global supply chains and highly optimized production systems. These industries can manufacture enormous quantities of material at costs that are difficult for emerging technologies to match. Mycelium companies are trying to build a new industry from the ground up. That means they need to invest in growing facilities, developing new manufacturing processes, and proving that their materials can consistently meet the quality standards that is required by major brands. While mushroom materials offer environmental advantages, companies must also convince customers that the products can compete on performance, durability, and price. For mushroom materials, the next chapter is about proving that it can be produced reliably and at the volumes required by global industries.